Hey, AfterBuzzers, we are talking girls, Season 6, Episode 7, The Bounce. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin. You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV.
That's like a remix of the remix.
Remix of the remix.
Guys, that song is the best.
Shout out to R. Kelly.
No, you're well, okay.
Hey, AfterBuzzers, we are talking girls, Season 6, Episode 7, The Bounce. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Mama rolling that body, got every man in your wishing. Obviously, I know the song.
The reason we picked the song, obviously, is because bounce, 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 bounce. Guys, I love this song.
I don't
Anyways,
think he's talking about the same thing with us.
Yeah, he's talking
same thing. The episode, you know.
R. Kelly's not talking about basketball?
I'm confused.
No.
Oh, it's different.
Oh, wow, I thought it was
Whole
about
time I thought he was talking about.
well, guys, that
We'll talk
was
about it another day.
a very funny episode of Girls. So much to talk about. But before we get started, let's introduce ourselves. I am Renee Ariel. You can follow me everywhere at Renee Ariel. And I have a panel of gorgeous ladies.
Hi, my name is Mina Wahab. You can find me on Instagram at Mina Makes Magic.
Hey guys, I'm Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom.
What's up? My name is TK Trinidad. You can find me on everything at TK Trinidad, and I'm also doing the live chat, so y'all hop on.
Whoop whoop. Okay, so before we dive into everything, I want to know everyone's like overall thoughts. Like, what did you think of this episode?
I liked it, and I'm feeling a little great because my prediction from last week did come through, and I'm really proud of Elijah. I felt like I was so happy at the end of this episode in regards to like Elijah's character. So
I'll say I laughed a lot. I think mostly because of Elijah. I haven't laughed out loud in a long time at Girls, so
Yeah.
I like this episode.
What? You laughed in the Break-In House episode?
I laughed, but not as much as I laughed today.
That was a few
That's
episodes
true.
ago.
Yeah, like I laughed
felt
a
like
lot
last
on this
week.
episode. Yeah.
I really like this episode because it feels like a lot of the characters, almost like on a motivational level, like they all kind of evolved, and there's an overarching theme in it that I really liked. So we can discuss that later.
Yes,
Nice.
yeah, I feel I have a lot of the same thoughts with you on that. But one character I really want to start with for this episode, because she seems to be, well, started with having a very hard day, I would say. Our friend Marnie.
Oh gosh.
Jesus.
Everyone just shrugged and was like, I love it. Yeah, so Marnie's getting evicted, calls her mom to help because her mom it's like everyone owes her, just like the guy at the pawn shop was saying. What did you think of this little debacle she was in this episode?
First of all, I love how, out of all people in the world, out of all the people who have ever talked to Marnie, try to knock sense into her, the only person who manages to do that is some random person she doesn't even know. It's the only person who manages to get through to her, and it felt very cinematic. Like, it doesn't feel like one of those things where, I'm just gonna go into a pawn shop one day and this is gonna be my, epiphany, where I finally realize how messed up I am and how I need to get my shit together. A little ridiculous, but I'm glad that he knocked some sense into her, for sure.
I was gonna say, sometimes it takes a stranger, it's sad because sometimes people that you know and they've been telling you for years and months to get your together, sometimes it takes a stranger for you to realize that you're actually messing up. So I like that moment where he was like, girl, no, it's actually you. But I love how Marnie's like, I'm about to be homeless. And I'm like, girl, seriously, there are real life homeless people in this world. You can literally go live with your mom. Your mom's about to go to Jamaica. Like, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But it's always about Marnie. But I like how the guy at the pawn shop was like, no, it's you. You're blaming everyone else, but you need to look at yourself.
But did she really learn her lesson? Aside from the fact that, like, she went to pawn the stuff, she realized that the stuff wasn't. Oh,
Do you want the coaster? Maybe.
Oh, thank
No,
you.
I just thought of it. I was like,
Helping
use
hands on
that
my
one.
fellow girl.
because she realized that she didn't, like, she tried to pawn the stuff, she couldn't get any money for the stuff, and it's just like, okay, well, there's nowhere else for her to get money. And yeah, even though she called, oh my gosh, we're going.
Desi.
Even though she called Desi and said, you don't owe me money, I don't really think she learned a lesson. It just came to the point where it's like, I'm evicted.
Right.
Oh, there's nowhere else for me to go but my mom's house, which, I mean, come on now.
I love how
It's not
she's
the
like,
street.
I got this locket and my family got it from
Oh
1800,
my God.
and we've had it in our family, and they're
The
so
whole
iconic.
story.
The Wild West
Killed
heirloom.
me.
Her wedding theme was a lie.
Yeah, she's so overdramatic. I agree with you actually about sometimes we need to hear it from a stranger, because I feel like our friends can tell us something over and over and over again, and we're like, yeah, but like, nah, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing. And then maybe it takes one person, regardless of if this is a guy that works at a pawn shop or maybe a family friend, like whoever, sometimes it just takes that one person to really be for us to be like, oh my gosh, you're right.
Right.
You know, so I did like that moment.
He doesn't know anything about her, though. That's the weird thing. Like,
Yeah,
he's
thank
a
God.
stranger.
He doesn't want to know more about her.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, as the episodes go on, we just see how selfish this girl is. Like, I feel like it's gotten worse through the seasons, to be honest. Like, this is the worst I've seen Marnie. Because I was actually, my friend, another host at AFTERBUZZ here, Amber, is rewatching all of Girls.
Nice.
And, or watching for the first time, but watching all the seasons. And she was like, oh, I love Marnie. And I'm like, give it a few more seasons.
So that's how I felt when I first started watching Girls. I
Yeah.
actually liked her. I thought there was something about her that was very endearing. I felt like she was a good friend. As the episodes progressed, I'm like, I can't stand her. But this episode, I finally felt like, okay, wait, maybe by the end of the season, she will have reached, like, you know, she will have grown a little bit more, because this seems like a pivotal episode for some reason for her. I feel like, you know, finally she realizes. The weird thing is, though, she is moving back in with her mom, but couldn't she, like, easily just try to find a job and make some money and make rent? Like, that's
this
the
is my
part
argument.
that I don't get. Like, are you that lazy where you'd rather just, like,
It
go to
shouldn't
your
even-
mom than even try? Like, pretend you don't have a backup. Just try.
No,
That's
but
why I
it
said
shouldn't
she
have
did-
even gotten to that point of eviction. You literally know when rent is due. Hey guys, when is rent due? Oh wait, the first of every month that you live there.
Yeah.
So the fact she wasn't like, oh, I'm not working a lot, oh, Desi isn't coming through, and didn't think to get a job beforehand, like at any point,
Because
until
she
she's
thought her mom
evicted.
would be a backup. You know, her mom always gives her money. Why wouldn't she give it to her this time? That's her mental process,
Which
I
is
guess.
precisely why I said she hasn't learned her lesson.
Yeah.
Because if you really learned your lesson, you know, this is a little tip as far as I don't know if it's any other state, but I know in California, you can even if they evict you, you can stay for a couple of months.
Oh yeah,
Squatter.
it's like that.
Squatter
It's like
rule.
that in New York City
So
too.
I mean, she could have at least gotten another month together and put something together. But she's like, oh, I'll go to my mom's house, and I'm betting her mom's house is pretty decent, pretty nice.
Yeah.
Probably.
So did she really learn her lesson?
Where's her mom's house
say.
located, though?
I don't know.
Like,
Maybe
does she have
Jersey?
to-
I thought it was Jersey.
Maybe Jersey.
Because if it's Jersey,
Oh.
why is she living in the city anyway if she doesn't have a job? Why is she spending all of that money if she has no real job?
Because it's probably not her spending the money. It's probably mommy that's spending the money.
Yeah.
Like
It's
This
ridiculous.
girl was affording 3 different gym memberships.
Equinox.
Right? Like, not
She
even
said
LA
Equinox.
Fitness. We're talking
It was
Equinox.
weird.
Equinox is
like
expensive.
200 something a month.
Right? And the fact that she canceled it right before getting evicted, like,
And she's in
Right
like
before-
5 yoga classes.
Yeah, like-
Bro.
She's like, I
Yoga
can't do
classes.
this class. I'm gonna be broke. As if like,
Oh,
I mean,
Marnie. But you're right, because I feel like the beginning when Girls first started, you see Marnie's character, and at least you thought that she was a little bit more responsible. But then as time went on, you're like, actually, she's really not, and she's actually unraveling. So at least I hope that she's going to have a piece of humble pie when she lives with her mom, but to be honest with you,
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
yeah, I think a big part of her being more responsible is the fact that she was constantly relying on another person. She
Yeah.
was very dependent. Like, when we first met her, she was with Charlie, who at the time was a very responsible adult. We all loved him. Like, it made sense for her to be more responsible. He was a good influence on her. But on her own, she obviously is having trouble standing on her own 2 feet.
yeah, and also I feel like she's easily malleable in a weird way because whoever she's with kind of shows, you know, the type of personality she has. When she's with Desi, she's more of a mess. When she's with Hannah, but actually maybe that's not true, because when she's with Hannah, she does try to advise Hannah and like be that motherly figure. But in terms of relationships with guys, whoever she's with is kind of how her personality comes out to be. When she was with the artist guy, she was more like free and like artistic and like a little more sophisticated. She kind of like is a chameleon in that sense.
Yeah, she needs to just learn. I mean, that's with anyone. I think like growing up, especially when we're in high school and college, we're figuring out who we are, so we're constantly trying different things. Like, we've all been through a phase where we're like, why did I wear my makeup like that? Why was my hair like that? And then as you grow up, you know what suits you, but Marnie's clearly still kind of going through those phases, even though she's, you know, in her, how old is everyone on the show?
28.
28?
I want to say
between 25 and 28.
Like mid-20s. I mean, honestly, our 20s are for figuring
5 if
we
you're
are.
Ray, though, right? 35 for Ray?
Yeah, well, Ray doesn't count. Ray's
Ray's,
responsible.
Ray's not one of the girls. But moving on from Marnie, I loved this episode mainly because of Elijah. Oh my gosh, I remember, I don't remember where I saw it. Was it Lena Dunham who tweeted? Someone tweeted saying, if you love Elijah, you're going to love this episode, and now I see why. Guys, this was hysterical. First of all, his song was great.
I loved it.
And the dance moves, when you were watching him, like, originally, like, think it through, did you think he was going to ace it the first time without the balls? Were you like, is he going to get it? Or were you like,
No, I didn't.
I was nervous for
and
him.
then when I saw him do it, I was like, oh my god. And I was thinking, I was like, is there a stunt double in here? I was like, no, that's Elijah. I was so freaking excited. I was so excited to see this episode.
I love that
loved
they
it.
have a play, The White Men Can't Jump, that they made it into a play, a musical, and I love that he went to audition for it, because in the past episodes you've seen Elijah was depressed and he's trying to figure everything out, and of course Dale shows up the day of the big audition, and shout out to his coworker, I don't know her name, the girl at Bindles. I think she kind of gave him that motivation from last episode, because
so funny when
she
they're
was the
working.
one that was actually going on auditions, and he was reading with her. Sorry, hit your cup. So I like that he was more motivated this episode, and he actually went out and just did it.
I love what she said to him though, like, oh, you're going out on an audition. I thought you didn't want to audition because your fear is like you don't want to be too famous.
Right.
And I was like, that's so funny that that's his
Elijah.
excuse. Like, he always comes up with something. He's hilarious.
And it's funny because the fact that we thought that he was going through depression, it seems more that he was just he had a fear of failing. So that was kind of the thing that was stopping him. So even though like it seemed like he was kind of going through these bits and pieces because of the breakup and all this other stuff, it felt like with the breakup he actually took a step and asked Dillard like, hey, I want to be in a relationship, I just want it to be you and me, and he said no, which kind of almost put him back 10 steps, and then he was afraid to do anything else because he didn't want that rejection. So now he actually stepped up to the plate, which, you know, kudos to him.
And he needed that push.
proud
I
of
love
him.
that he ran into Dante. Something
Dante.
Dante was amazing.
Oh,
She had the best
so
quote.
funny.
My favorite
Great.
quote from her is "Good dick is a prison."
Yes, I wrote that down too.
True story. And there is a
It's a true story.
True story. Good dick is a prison. Also, yes, this is a true story. There's a clothing line called Married to the Mob, and they actually have a shirt that says "Good dick will imprison you." So when she said that, I started dying laughing because I have that shirt. True story.
Oh my god.
But I like Afina. She's so cute.
She is really cute. I'm happy that she like got him back into the audition, because you think he's, I mean, honestly, I think we've all been there. I mean, we're all in the entertainment industry, and we've gone to an audition, we're like, oh gosh, am I gonna get it? You don't want to fail, whatever. I've never walked out of an audition like that though. I'm really happy he stuck around. Obviously it paid off, but
there was a part that actually reminded me. Have you guys seen La La Land?
Yes.
No.
Yes, no? Okay, for those of you who have seen it, when, I'm not going to ruin anything.
Okay,
don't
I'm
worry.
good.
But,
I'm like,
but
no.
there's a part where he's going to sing a song. He's like, I don't want to sing this song. And she's like, oh, just like do something from the heart. And it just reminded me of the song Audition in La La Land, like that whole scene. It was so good.
Because Afina tells him, like, don't sing that song. Sing something that means something to you.
Think of something,
and it worked out for him. The most hysterical, one of the most hysterical scenes I think we've had this season was him and the basketball. That was incredible when he hits the guy in the face with the basketball.
amazing.
That was incredible.
He's like, I thought the whole theme was white men who could not play basketball.
Yeah. Oh my
happy
gosh.
for Elijah.
And even his attitude when he left, he's like, how hard can it be to throw a basketball around your finger? So good. I thought that was absolutely hysterical. And that moment he got that call, I thought that was such a nice moment. Just to see any character like get like it was him reaching his dreams. Like,
I was so
loved
happy.
that. Mhm.
And there's also a key point too in the middle of that that part where he was doing the basketball and the dance. He didn't stop. And that, like, you can, this whole episode, like, even from now to this point, like, you get into a situation where it's just like, I can't do this, and people just stop automatically. And, you know, at the end of the day, you just need to keep going.
And that,
so that in itself was a really good,
That's
you
a
know,
good point.
segue.
That's a great point because even the very end where he like goes right next to the basket and doesn't even dunk it, he just goes like that and shoots it, and he's like, I still got it in. Like, I loved it.
And he was still confident after, because when he's speaking to Afina outside, and he's like, maybe I'll see you at rehearsal. And she's like, psh. He's like, what? I'll see you at rehearsal, maybe.
Right.
So I like that he was still confident. I like that she kind of gave him a little bit of motivation, a little boost. Because when he comes home and Dale, the love of his life, which we thought was he was so depressed over, kind of stood up to him a little bit. Like, he didn't fall so quickly into what Dale was saying. And then, of course, they shared pizza.
Yeah, actually,
AKA had sex.
let's get into Dillard because I was not expecting to see him this episode. I also missed last week's preview for this episode, so maybe they did show him, but I wasn't.
Yeah, they didn't show him.
They didn't?
They
Okay,
didn't.
that makes me feel better. But, like, I had no idea he'd come back. I loved the part he played. One, he added so much humor to this episode. With him and Hannah, I was losing my mind. Okay, so Hannah finally calls Paul Louis, you guys. I have been waiting for this moment since she got pregnant, and it was so depressing. But realistic, honestly, realistic.
We all knew that, though.
Yeah.
Didn't we all call that? Every one of us.
Yeah.
She knew it, but I think she just felt like the pressure of, okay, everyone's like, but the father needs to know. And I think deep down inside, she knew that. And I think she was okay with that, because when she first got pregnant, she was like, you know what, I just want to have this baby.
Right.
I'm going to be fine. But I think everyone put in the pressure on her, like, the father needs to know. So I think when he first said it, it sucks at first because we're all human. But I think as time goes on, she's just going to be like, you know what, it is what it is. I expected him not to be okay with it.
People tend to be the same characters that they are, like with some minor changes here or there. It's like she met him. They spent a couple days together. He wasn't showing his representative. That was him. So for her to expect anything else was just kind of like, okay. So I definitely think she felt a moment of, you know, a gut shot, but then she realized I didn't really expect anything different.
Yeah.
So it's I'm not really surprised.
It was just like hurting me even in the
Yeah.
moment because we saw it coming. I mean, we know this character as you were saying, like, it's very clear the type of person he is. He's not very responsible. Yes, he has a job, but like to take care of another person is like a whole other story.
Then he has to explain it to his girlfriend.
Yeah, his girlfriend. I mean.
I think you
yes,
guys are being harsh because he was really involved. He wanted to name the kid Grover.
Oh, yes, Grover. This is true. Grover.
Isn't that like a name for like a pet more than
Sesame
a
Street.
person?
It's like a last name or something. It
why.
doesn't sound
It's
like
not-
a first name.
But you're right. I love how as she's
That's
feeling
all he
bad, he's
contributed.
like, by the way, I've always had this name for a kid. Just going to throw it out there.
Right.
Grover.
Zero emotional intelligence.
Like,
Zero.
I cannot.
Zero.
But he did say, he's like, you know, I would feel like a POS, a piece of shit, if I told you to get an abortion. And
Thank you for letting us know.
You're welcome.
I would have never known.
He's like, you know, I'd feel bad, but great, thanks.
It's so awkward when he's like, well, thanks, hope everything's cool with you.
Yeah.
the good thing
whole
is-
POS thing too. I love how HBO does everything, like says every curse word imaginable, every scene of nudity,
Yes.
but POS has to be abbreviated because God forbid Paul Louis says something like a curse word.
They had to abbreviate it.
But the good thing is that she at least let him know, and
Yep.
he knows that he's there. Because I actually have a friend. He found out that he had a kid. I think the kid's like 3 now.
Oh.
So she told him that she was pregnant, and she told him she was getting rid of the baby, and then she changed her mind,
And then didn't tell him.
she decided to call him 3 years later. So it's like at least he knows, and you at least give that other person like, all right, I let you know,
Right.
you know, do whatever you want to do. Just know that you have a baby floating around.
And at least it takes the pressure off of her now, because she's like, look, I told you, now I'm going to take responsibility for my baby and do what I have to do. If you want to come in, great, let me know.
And she can tell her kid that, I mean,
True.
provided she does have the kid, and she can tell her kid that, look, I told your father that I was having you, and he chose not to. Opposed to, you know, because when you add all the lies on top of it, then it just gets murky.
Yeah.
So at least
But
she's starting with that
who
truth.
knows? Maybe later on he might have a change of heart and like
Maybe.
wake up
I
and
think-
realize he wants to be part of the kid's life if she ends up having the kid.
Right.
Which we don't know. It
I
ended
see
on
that
such a
happening
weird note.
for him, for his
Yeah.
character. I
Yeah.
see that his relationship with his girlfriend ending, and then like sometime like a few years down the road, he's gonna be like, wait a second, I have a kid out there. I'm gonna call up Hannah, and then all of a sudden want to be a part of the kid's life. I could so see that happening with his character. Just right now, he's like not about it.
Maybe in
like-
the movie.
Maybe in the
Maybe
movie,
in that movie.
Girls, the movie. So yeah, so that was great to have Dillard comforting Hannah.
Yeah.
That scene with them crying on each other was so funny. Hannah crying, then Dillard crying, and then that making Hannah cry killed me.
They both are like each other's comfort. I love it that he was there
Yeah.
to just give her a hug first, and then Dillard breaks down, and then he realizes, you know, his relationship with Elijah, which I, like you said, I didn't think he was gonna ever come back.
I didn't
And
think so
the
either.
scenes from last week, we didn't see him, so I liked actually seeing him and him realizing, like, you know what, as he wanted to adopt his white baby, as they kept putting
Isn't
it.
that the worst though, when you're doing so well in your life or you're taking steps in the right direction and then like some divine force
Oh, yes.
puts like a reminder of your past in there and it's almost like a test. Are you going to revert back to old days or are you going to keep progressing and take some positive steps in the right direction?
Right.
It's almost
It
like a
always
weird
happens.
He
test,
did
right?
kind of go back, but his past showed up at his door. I feel like this
maybe
might be a
Dillard's
good
changed,
thing.
though.
That's the thing.
Right.
Sometimes
Yeah.
what I always think about, like getting back with an ex per se, is you have to go back to the reason you broke up. So if this guy's now grown from that and is willing, which now he seems like he is, they're not going to go back to that same fight. So I'm okay with the fact that they want to get back together.
Right.
If he was still saying the same thing and it was just like, I miss you, but I want the same things. I don't want to not
Right.
just see you. Then I'd be like, yo, like,
gotta
no,
go.
Elijah, no.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
think it's good that that they have each other right now, especially when Elijah's flourishing and
Yeah.
he just
Yes.
got his dream job. Like, good for him. And now Dillard's the one like struggling.
Yeah.
That's right.
And you know
Well, is he
what's
really
really
struggling now?
No, it's like you said, it's like no one's really ever struggling in this
Right.
show.
They're not.
They're like they never have like real life issues.
Oh,
maybe Shosh, but we don't know.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
gonna have a real life issue.
But the thing that's really cool with Hannah, remember how she wanted Elijah to be a part of her child?
Yeah,
Remember,
he
like,
might not-
like being the father to
Yeah.
her child and like helping her out and stuff. Wouldn't it be interesting if Elijah got back with his ex-boyfriend and his ex-boyfriend wants to adopt a white baby? Why not help Hannah with that if she ends up
But I like
having
what
a
he said
child?
at the table because he
Right?
asked, he's like, how far along are you? He's like, don't worry, I don't want to buy your baby.
I know,
Because that's
I
the first
love
thing I
that
thought of.
too.
I was like,
He
wait, what if
said
she
that
gives the
too.
baby up now to Elijah and
That just
Dillard?
kind of awkward.
Yeah.
That would be
Here's my
so
baby.
weird.
Co-parenting with like 3 people.
But now that you say that, I see Elijah and Dill getting back together, but maybe Elijah moving out and him starting his own. I know that's part of a prediction,
Wow.
but
Yeah, actually, I think it's time. Let's get into predictions.
Awesome.
You started
I
out.
started it. Damn.
You start. Starting from the bottom. Now we here.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right. Prediction. So I'm going to say this again. I think that Elijah and Dill are going to get back together. And I think it's going to be interesting because I think now maybe Elijah and Dill are going to start their life and he may move on. He might not. Not that he won't be a part of Hannah's life, but I think she was thinking they were going to be like Will and Grace and
Right.
raise their baby together. So I think this might be the chance where Hannah's either going to grow up or, as we've seen, Adam is going to try to come back or try to help her in some way. Shoshana was missing. And I say this because I went on Twitter and I was on the hashtag girls and literally everybody was tweeting, where is Shoshana? Where's Shoshana? So I'm still sticking
But
with
where's Ray? No one's saying where's Ray.
Well, he's not
Well,
part of the
they're
girl.
not part of the girls.
Yeah.
I know, I
Adam,
know.
Jessa, Ray, and Shosh were all missing this
All
episode.
missing, but Shoshana has
in
been missing a
total,
lot.
She's been missing, yeah, the longest. So, for
So
sure.
I'm just saying she was missing. I mean,
I feel you.
Oh yeah. So I also think that Hannah and as we've seen in the scenes that Adam may. I don't know. I feel like they may end up being friends and he may help her with the baby, or they may end up in a relationship and help her with the baby.
Seems as though his feelings for her are greater than hers for him
That
at
we
this
know of.
point.
She just
Yeah.
may not speak on it yet, but I
Yeah.
think that they might have a conversation. Shosh is missing in action, and that's it for my prediction.
And Elijah's gonna make it
And Elijah's gonna make it, and
Yes.
him and Dill are gonna run off in the sunset and live happily
and
ever
do some
after.
sort of dance routine together. It's gonna be
That's
like a
it.
musical. Yeah.
That's it for me.
Who'd like to?
For Shosh.
Who'd like to go next?
Yeah. I laugh at my own jokes way too much, guys. This is not.
I laugh with you. I'm here with you, girl.
I love you. Alright. What are my predictions? What else? What other character are we missing right now?
Jessa.
Jessa, Marnie. Oh yeah, Jessa. I feel like is gonna be on her own for sure. I mean,
Really?
Yeah. I feel like she's gonna try to get back in Hannah's life. This is the thing. I feel like if Hannah has the baby, there might the last episode might be a baby shower episode, and it might leave at that. Yeah. So maybe that's gonna be the way that Jessa comes back into Hannah's life, but she's not going to be with Adam forever. I can't see that relationship lasting. I think it's good for what it was. I think they had the connection, but it's going to end for sure. And I want to see Ray next episode. I really want to see him. I want to see Elijah make it, and I think he will. I love how, the casting directors called him, and they're like, you can't dance. You have, like, no talent when it comes to, like, dancing.
Don't bring the basketball.
But your music was great, and, like, your energy was great, and we really love you. Like, that made me so, so happy. It was just a really good feeling to, like, be with this character throughout all these seasons and then see something good happen to him, and hopefully we'll see the same of Hannah. Other than that, I feel like we're seeing things that have already been stated. Marnie, I don't know if she for sure is going to move back home. I think that's her plan for now, but she might end up with another guy and live there, or with another girl. I can't envision her actually settling on living at her mom's place. I think she's going to couch surf or do something, and I don't think it'll be dingy. I think it'll still be a bougie lifestyle.
Of course.
I think one of her friends is going to have space for her, and she's not going to have that earth-shattering wake-up call where she needs to, like, get out and do something, because she's going to have another backup, like a friend or a guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Good stuff.
and this is I was actually talking to a friend about this the other day. This is the biggest difference between people who, make it and people who sit at home and, just talk about they wish they could have, they should have. And this is why I felt about this particular episode, is because Elijah, he actually went for it. And so many people would have walked out, or so many people even saw the open call and never even went. So it's just kind of so powerful to me, because you see, the difference between the two. And if you actually take that leap, and even if he didn't make it, at least that starts him in the right direction.
Yeah.
So definitely, I like that part of it. I don't know. The predictions are really hard, because I think Lena Dunham is kind of like throwing us for a loop with everything, with a lot of major themes. Yeah. Some of them that, like, obviously Paul Louis, we knew that was going to happen, but the fact that she left us with Hannah sitting at the doctor's office, which can either be she's for the abortion or she's getting a checkup.
Yes, I know. So, I didn't like that open-ended
that was part of my prediction.
Yeah.
That she might actually get that abortion,
right? Which wouldn't be.
But someone who was there was, like, literally third trimester pregnant.
Yeah, but you can go. There's clinics. You can go for checkups. You can go for both.
Yeah.
Birth control.
I'm just letting it. It wasn't an
abortion.
abortion clinic. I don't think.
No, but
abortion
you
clinic,
can.
Planned Parenthood, you can go and have
Yeah, like everything happens at Planned Parenthood.
Yeah. All right.
I don't think
maybe.
there's like any abortion clinic where somebody's there and they're with a hanger.
Yeah.
No.
Waiting.
Like, you can legit check up on your baby, or
No.
you can get an abortion at Planned Parenthood, and you can go pick up birth control pills.
Yeah.
And have sonograms and
Because
stuff
that's
like
what
that.
I was like trying to like look and be like, are these people getting an abortion? Is this like
Nope. Shout out to Planned Parenthood for her.
Shout out to
Yes.
But yeah, you don't really know what's going to happen with that, and I have a feeling that she's going to leave it until like either the last 2 episodes. Like, I don't think we'll find out next episode.
I almost feel like we're never going to find out, and I think I stated this before, we're never going to find out. We're never going to find out what her decision is, and she's just going to have a miscarriage, and that's super sad, but I think it's going to be one of those things where the decision is made for her, and we never know what her decision was. I feel like that could be a possibility for sure.
I guess so.
We shall see.
I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's where everything lies as far as her and Adam. Well, it seemed like Adam was gonna go back to her to talk to her, and then he's talking to Jessa. But really based off of what we saw for next week, we don't really know what's gonna happen with that. Overall, I just kind of wish that all these characters will go off, travel, do something with their lives, and figure it out and realize that they have to depend on themselves in order to get to where they want to go. I know that's not what's going to happen, but that's what, that's for me the biggest thing. And I think it's really sad that some folks, like Marnie, gets to live in her own world. Like, that's even though we look at her and we're shaking our head, that's a luxury. that a lot of us don't have. So, you know, kudos to Marnie for being able to do that. So
Yeah.
What
Must be nice.
character?
Yeah.
What old character do you think is going to be reintroduced next episode? Do you think there's going to be a character like that, either next episode or the final 3 episodes?
Fran.
Next
Fran.
episode.
I love Fran. I love him for Hannah. He was so cute.
I will say there's only
Yeah,
3
he's good.
episodes left, and like you said, like Lena Dunham has been like surprising us each and every way. So you never know,
Right.
she might surprise us and bring a Fran back, or bring a Mimi Rose, or throw somebody weird in there, or she
Yeah.
might just keep it simple.
Where's
and
Adam's sister? I
she's
miss
like,
her.
She left.
she
Yeah.
ran
She's
away.
gone.
I
She's
know.
gone.
I want her to come back.
I think
though.
that next week Adam is going to talk to Hannah about like co-raising the baby. I don't think it's going to have to do with them getting back together, because of the way that when they showed Jessa, she seemed too chill. Then again, I don't know if Jessa would show too much emotion if he said he wanted to explore his relationship with Hannah again. So I don't know, but I think it would be such a weird route to go if he was like, yo, sorry, like this whole documentary made me, or the whole like movie made me realize I want to get back together with my ex. Are you cool with that? I'm gonna leave. I don't know. So we'll see what happens with that. I think it's gonna be co-raising the baby. I definitely see Elijah making it like in the movie. Like he's gonna be famous in the movie, but for now he's just gonna be loving what he's doing. He's definitely gonna be back together with Dillard. And stick with the Shoshana prediction that we all have talked about. And
Oh, that's a good
Marnie,
one.
I see Marnie staying at home and kind of like not doing anything, because right now she doesn't have a boyfriend. She's gonna be in New Jersey. She doesn't have a job, so I see her just like Netflixing by herself, like alone, not leaving the apartment until someone like comes in and gets her out of this slump. Is what I see happening. But
I feel like the only person who could get her out of her slump is maybe a child or something who reminds her of herself when she was younger. Like something
Like
like
another
that
stranger?
level of narcissism. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that
She could
sums up-
mentor.
Pretty good episode. I kind of hope
episode,
that weirdly Elijah and Afina become friends.
Me too.
Even though he's like, you're so young.
Oh, they'll be friends.
I want
If
her
they
to
work
come back.
together, they're
I
gonna
kind
be
of want them
friends.
to be like friends.
She's good for him, clearly.
Yeah, I liked her a lot.
But
It was cool.
We have
some predictions in the
Ver-
comments.
Vergas. I'm terrible at them names. They're saying that Donald Glover. From
Ooh.
season, was it season 1 or season 2?
Season 2, I think.
Yes, yes.
Who did he play in season?
He was her black.
Her black
jump
yeah.
off. That was a boyfriend. It was a jump
Oh,
off.
her like
Her
sex.
black jump off.
Her sex partner.
He
But
was
he
a
was
black
a
Republican.
He was a Republican, yeah.
Didn't he all of a sudden come out of nowhere, like in the beginning of the season, or no? Did he? I don't
No,
remember
they
how
were
he was
just
introduced.
they were just hitting it. I think
Yeah,
the
they
first
just hooked up.
first episode, like they were just doing it and then continue doing it and then
I do remember that because I remember them going to like a record store. Like I have a
Yeah.
flashback of them
Yeah.
like walking through the record store.
Hannah kept saying
That's a-
problematic things about him being like,
Oh my God.
yeah.
I would love to see Donald Glover come back. I love Donald Glover.
I love him as well,
Shout
but
out
we'll
to Childish
see
Gambino.
what happens with that. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Before we go, let's introduce ourselves one more time. I am Renee Ariel. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Renee Ariel. And where can everyone find you?
I'm Mina Wahab. You can find me on Instagram at Mina Makes Magic.
I'm Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom. And Monday, I'm on The Breaks, Feud, and Wednesday, I'm on Greenleaf.
damn girl, you got you.
I keep
working.
busy, you know. Mama gotta feed her. No, I'm kidding.
First off, I want to shout out the folks that hopped on live chat. Again, I'm terrible with names, but you guys know who you are. Nissan, yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Vargas. Thank you guys for your predictions. Keep the comments coming. We really, really appreciate it. I hope we guys appeased you. We didn't cut off Mina this week. I hope, but you know.
Oh yeah, Renee, you missed it.
Oh, read the
I'm gonna
comments.
rewatch it. I'll rewatch it.
Read the comments.
So yeah, really, but yeah, keep those comments coming, all that great
Love
stuff.
you guys.
And you can follow me on everything, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff, at TK Trinidad, just TK, the country, Trinidad.
And for all of us here at AfterBuzz, you can follow us on YouTube, on iTunes, on Instagram, on Twitter, all the social medias at AfterBuzz TV. And we will catch you next week, guys.
See
Bye.
ya.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Bye.
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.